This episode is brought to you by La Quinta by Wyndham. Your work can take you all over the place, like Texas. You've never been, but it's going to be great because you're staying at La Quinta by Wyndham. Their free Bright Side breakfast will give you energy for the day ahead. And after, you can unwind using their free high-speed Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your stay today at lq.com.
Hello and welcome to Bytes of Health, where we hope to take a bite out of your parent worries each day with sound advice and guidance. Every morning, we'll answer a commonly asked pediatric question in 5 minutes or less. I'm Dr. Jess Steyer, a public health scientist, and today I'm joined by Dan Zauderer, founder and CEO of Grassroots Grocery, an amazing nonprofit out of New York City. Today, we are going to talk about the amazing work this organization is doing. The clock is ticking, so let's get to it. All right, Dan, what is the mission of Grassroots Grocery?
Sure. So thank you, Dr. Jess, so much for having me here today. Super glad to be sharing. Grassroots Grocery is a nonprofit committed to nourishing neighbors throughout New York. We are all about advancing food security by cultivating a community of neighbors helping neighbors. And what I mean by neighbors helping neighbors is just this idea that anyone can be a part of nourishing their neighborhood and their surrounding community. And it doesn't need to be, a big institutional food pantry or the government. It's really up to all of us, me and you, to be a part of the solution.
That's amazing. So can you tell us about the kids that you have helping to achieve the missions and goals of the organization?
So we hear from parents all the time that it's just really hard to get kids, especially little kids, involved in community service. They're just really inaccessible opportunities that happen at the wrong times or that have age cutoffs. And we just wanted to turn that whole dynamic upside down. And we have intentionally created an experience that speaks directly to the whole family, including the little kids in it, because we know that tackling an issue as big as food insecurity should know no age, and the whole family should be able to participate. And there are so many different ways that kids are involved. First of all, every Saturday, we have an event called a produce party, where we unload a truck that's filled with over 10,000 pounds of produce that would have otherwise gone to waste. It's sourced from the biggest produce market in the world. And there, little kids love hopping into the truck and getting photo ops with the produce, super colorful and bright. And then they get to go with their families and make one delivery in their own vehicle to a community leader. And so they get to see where this produce goes into the community. And that's something that's super fun and uplifting that families are really attaching to, and they've become a huge part of our work. And then the other really big way that we get students involved is through school-based efforts. So we are really trying to seize the momentum of students who have come to us saying, hey, we've noticed all of this waste in our school cafeterias, and we want to do something about it. And so now we launched something called the Student Food Recovery Task Force. And every month or so, we have students from across New York and beyond that are thinking about how can they get their cafeteria food waste into the community. We have so many amazing students that are a part of that effort. And we just hope that grows. So whether it's on the weekend with the family or whether it's during the week in your school, we want to make this as easy, accessible, and fun as possible for kids and for the whole family to be involved.
So, Dan, how can we support the work that you're doing at Grassroots Grocery?
Sure. So one way is just to come join a Saturday produce party in the Bronx. If you're based in New York, or even if you're not, come on over to the Bronx. We're in a shopping center parking lot. It's called Gun Hill Commons. It's right behind a Dunkin' Donuts in a shopping center parking lot. Kids of all ages are welcome. And so that's one thing that anybody can do. But then even if you're not based in New York, you can start a food recovery program at your kid's school. Think about what or find out what your kid's school is doing with food waste, and then encourage your kids to get involved, encourage the administration to do something about it, because now there is actually federal legislation that allows for the donation of excess food into the community. And so every school should be doing it. Doesn't matter whether it's in New York or not. And then finally, just, after you get involved and you love Grassroots, we know you will. We hope that you just spread the word to other families and other parents, because again, we hear this kind of commonality among parents that if only there was something easy, fun, and meaningful that my kids could get involved in, like my little kids, like it's just so hard to find. And we want to make it easy for you to find that. And so that's what it is just be a part of this with your little ones and work with us together to take a bite out of food insecurity in the Big Apple and beyond.
All right. Well, I learned something. We hope you learned something, and we have lots more to share. You can get your Bite of Health every day, Monday through Friday. Special thanks to Dan Zouderer of Grassroots Grocery for sharing his expertise with us today. You can check out all the amazing work that he's doing over at grassrootsgrocery.org. If you like what you've heard here, let us know. Please leave us a review on Apple and be sure to tell your friends. Remember, there is no single or best way to parent. Parenting is a journey, and we are all just doing our very best. We wish you happy, healthy, and stress-free parenting.
If you like this podcast, can we recommend another one? It's called Big Picture Science. You can hear it wherever you get your podcasts, and its name tells part of the story. The big picture questions and the most interesting research in science.
Seth and I are the hosts. Seth is a scientist. I am Molly, and I'm a science journalist. And we talk to people smarter than us, and we have fun along the way. The show is called Big Picture Science, and as Seth said, you can hear it wherever you get your podcasts.